Hi, it's Mark from Top Local. We're here with Bernie Pawlik, Pawlik Automotive in Vancouver, Vancouver's best auto service experience, servicing and repairing vehicles in Vancouver for 38 years and 18-time winners of Best Auto Repair in Vancouver as voted by their customers. How you doing, Bernie?
Doing very well.
So we're going to talk about a 2010 Volvo XC70 that had a differential noise. What was going on with this Volvo?
Well, this is a typical problem with this car. Probably the worst thing that goes on in this vehicle is that the rear ends, there's a bearing in the rear differential that wears out and causes quite a loud noise when you drive it down the road. So the owner of the vehicle had taken it to the Volvo dealer, got a quote on the job. It's pretty pricey for Volvo, about $6,000 in Canada. The reason for the high price, they replaced the complete rear differential assembly.
So we've talked about this before. This is the same unit as the Land Rover?
It is. So the Land Rover LR2 and the Volvo XC70 basically share the same drivetrain, same engine, the same transmission, rear differential. Obviously the bodies look quite a bit different on the vehicles, but the Land Rover LR2s experience the same issues. Land Rover, however, sells parts for the units, whereas Volvo doesn't, which is why their repair is so expensive. We do it for a third of the price, under a third of the price of what Volvo does. You can remove the differential, take it apart completely, replace all the bearings, seals, and it works fine. It does a great job and saves an awful lot of money. Let's share a few photos while we're at it. So there's our 2010 XC70. A bit of rain. It was a rainy day in Vancouver when we did the service on this vehicle. So there's the car. This is the rear differential cradle. So in doing the job, the whole rear differential cradle has to come down. This is about half of it, and the actual differential assembly sits right in this area here. You can see one of the axle shafts here. The wheels are located out here. So there's a lot of work involved to actually get the differential out and do the job. It's a pretty big piece of work. Here's the actual differential assembly after we repaired it and rebolted it back in. I'm not sharing any photos of the interior of this. We have done other posts before that there's photos of bearings. So if you search our channel, you can find pictures of the insides. But this is basically the unit. You can see right on here it says FOMO Co., which is Ford Motor Company, who owned both Volvo and Land Rover at this time. So they basically built this drivetrain in Sweden. But if you take the Land Rover unit out, it says exactly the same thing on it. And this unit in the front here, this is not part of the repair. This is called the Haldex unit. This is part of the all-wheel drive system, and it allows it's a variable clutch. It allows slippage between the front and rear, so it allows for smooth all-wheel drive engagement. But yeah, that's basically the unit. The bearing that wears out is usually right around this area here, so that's where it's loudest. There's 4 bearings inside the unit that we replace them all because the front one wears the most, but the other ones are contaminated with metal filing, so it's best to do them all.
So you have to disassemble that whole unit to get at the bearings? Is that how that works?
We do. We have to take that whole cradle down. We have to take the unit apart, clean it, take the bearings apart. We use hydraulic presses to remove the bearings and put them back on. It's a bit of work, but it's a nice savings for the client.
And overall, the same kind of reliability long-term as replacing the entire unit?
Absolutely. We've done many of these units. We've never seen any wear on the gears. When we put them back together, there's absolutely no noise whatsoever. There's really no compromise in doing it this way. And they're rebuilding them anyway. So, and the Haldex unit on the front that I mentioned, I mean, I'm not certain actually if Volvo includes that piece or not in their job, but if it is included, I mean, those parts rarely ever fail. I think we've repaired one in our whole career here. Now, we're not a Volvo dealer, and we don't see, hundreds of Volvos every week, but, it's a very rare part to ever fail. So the repair is 100% good, and Land Rover does it all the time, too.
And so how are these XC70s for overall reliability?
Yeah, they're good. It's a pretty good car. Not a lot of problems. Of course, this differential is probably the main thing. And if you own one at some point, you'll have to do something. It's kind of like if you own a Subaru with a 2.5 liter engine, you're going to have to do head gaskets at some point. So that's just one of those things, you know, over between, you know, and by the way, the mileage on this vehicle is only 72,000 kilometers, so it's pretty low mileage. It doesn't take a lot of use and time before this issue happens. Other than that, it's a good car.
So there you go. If you're looking for service for your Volvo in Vancouver or your Land Rover, the guys to see are Pawlik Automotive. You can reach them at 604-327-7112 to book your appointment. You must book ahead. They're busy. Or check out their website, pawlikautomotive.com. There's hundreds of articles and videos on there. Or our YouTube channel, Pawlik Automotive Repair. Thanks, Bernie.
Thank you, Mark.